I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I am Gogeta, and I order you to subscribe to Geekdom 101, unless you want your soul punished.
So Weekly Shonen Jump magazine has provided a brand new beautiful layout showcasing the new and improved, well, some would say improved, I certainly would, Gogeta Shintani version for Dragon Ball Super Broly, including showcasing all of the transformations that Gogeta will be using in the film, as well as notes from the staff that worked on the film. So we're going to get into what's actually being said here. First of all, I want to give credit to Yonko Productions for scanning this and finding it in Shonen Jump, and I wanted, of course, credit Herms for translating it for us. Now, the first thing I want to quickly comment on is there's been a debate in our fandom for many years about who is more powerful, Gogeta or Vegito. And, you know, originally in the original manga, it was implied that Vegito was a better fusion, mostly because of the fact that you know, the Potara's at that time did not have a time limit. But with Dragon Ball Super, the Potara's were retconned into having a 1 hour time limit if two mortals use the Potara. Well, it states right here in the article, literally states that in this film, Gogeta and Vegito are, and I quote, equally matched. So basically, they're equally matched ultimate trump cards is the actual statement. So that pretty much means that no matter which fusion Goku and Vegeta use, you're gonna have relatively the same power. Now, that is interesting because, you know, that's been a debate for many years, and now Shonen Jump is straight up saying that no, they are equal in power, or at least relatively equal in power. Now, with that being said, of course, the fusion time limit is a totally different factor. That's just something that, you know, 30 minutes for Metamore and 1 hour for Potara. You know, so Potara could theoretically be better, but if they're putting out a lot of power, then of course that time could shorten, which is what has happened almost all the time when it comes to fusion. But that being said, it is interesting to me that that they said that. And I want to also clarify, because there's a lot of confusion going on too about this. People keep comparing Vegito Blue to Gogeta Blue from the Trunks arc. You got to stop doing it. We're comparing Gogeta Blue from Broly to the theoretical Vegito Blue if they were to fuse in this movie. You cannot compare the two. Obviously, Gogeta from the Broly movie will be more powerful than Vegito from the Trunks arc because Goku and Vegeta are significantly more powerful in this movie than they were in the Trunks arc. So there's people who keep using that in their debates, and that's wrong. You can't. It's like comparing Vegito Blue to Gogeta from, you know, Fusion Reborn. It's a different level of power. But if you were to do either fusion at this state, it would be relatively equal. And as you can see here in the scan, you've got Base, you've got Super Saiyan, then you've got, of course, Vegeta or Gogeta Blue. And up here, you've actually got an actual screenshot from the film, which appears to be Gogeta powering up, probably going into becoming Super Gogeta. And, of course, we're going to be seeing more of Super Gogeta in the Xenoverse game. Now, I'm not even done yet. We got some more stuff. That being said, and by the way, just another translation note, it says literally in here, neither is inferior. Gogeta and Vegito, neither is inferior. Translated by Herms directly from the article. Now, something else that we need to talk about here is we have notes from Nagamine. And we're going to talk about sort of that and also the use of the word canon here. Now, I'm still working on a big video about the word canon, kind of going into the whole history of the canon and what is and isn't, sort of like the misconceptions. I'm still working on that one. But before we get to that, let's get to this Nagamine interview here. Basically, what it says, just to kind of, I'm going to read you what Herm said and kind of give you my thoughts, is he writes, since Toriyama's original was so marvelous, I made it my personal mission to animate with enthusiasm without removing a single frame, changing a line of dialogue, or adding anything that didn't need to be there. He's talking about the script. The titular Broly is a very popular character, so there was an incredible amount of pressure, but I've made this an homage to the old movies while adding in modern effects and the like. Also, the old Broly never had this much personality, explored into this much detail, but this time around, Toriyama-sensei has thoroughly depicted his inner workings. The crazy strong Broly, of course, means plenty of battle scenes, and I think the production staff has poured their all into this film. The only thing I've got to say is please enjoy it. It's Dragon Ball. It'll be fun. Set your expectations high. So, That's a good thing to say. One thing I will say, another comment that I've been seeing in the community lately is, oh, I've seen the entire movie. No, you haven't seen the entire movie. Yes, there have been trailers that have been out revealing a lot of things. We have had at the most 7 minutes of overall footage in a freaking hour and a half long movie. You have not seen the entire movie. Anybody out there saying they've seen the whole movie, stop. Like, you're just being melodramatic. There's tons. I was told by Sean Schemmel directly 2 days ago that the footage that came out from Gogeta is literally only a very small piece of that fight. He said there is so much more to the Gogeta Broly fight in that movie that was revealed in that trailer that people are going to lose their minds. He told me that directly on the phone. So it's like, because he's seeing the same thing. Like, oh, is the movie being spoiled? Is it ruining the movie? And I'm probably going to do a whole video discussing my thoughts on spoilers, but nonetheless, just because we've seen a lot of footage from the film and different sections of the film does not mean anything, because there's still a lot more that we have not seen that we're going to have to go to the theater to see. I'm going to go to the LA premiere next week. I am invited to the premiere with Funimation, and we'll be watching the dub there in the Chinese theater in LA. So I'll see y'all there if you're going to be coming. Now, this is what it states about the Dragon Ball Toriyama thing. So Term says popular characters from the Dragon Ball world are added to the canon by Akira Toriyama Sensei's hand. Now, the word canon is very, very seldom, if ever, used by any official material. So this is kind of a big deal. This is not the first time the word's been used. It was actually used, I believe, once before. I have to finish up my video and tell y'all kind of what the history of that is. There's a whole history behind this whole canon thing, which is why I always say there is no canon, because there's so many contradictions and people who are misinformed on it. But basically what they're saying is that Toriyama's taking a character that he didn't originally create and bringing him into continuity, which is, of course, Gogeta and Broly. Now, in terms of Gogeta, however, I've always said that Gogeta is, and this is the word I've used, theoretical canon. What that means is, even though Gogeta has only been in the movies and GT, because the Goku-Vegeta fusion is theoretically possible, because we've seen Gotenks and we've seen Vegito, so we know that Goku and Vegeta could do Metamorph fusion, and now they are doing it. Because of that, I've always said, well, Gogeta, no matter which way you decide what is and isn't canon, Gogeta is still a character that is a thing. They just haven't done the fusion yet. You see what I'm saying? Now they finally did it, but they haven't actually done it. Now we finally have it. So I don't think Gogeta, when you see articles saying Gogeta's canonized, I'm not sure I agree with that, because Gogeta's always been there, it's just that they've never done the fusion. Now they've done the fusion. So it says here, if Vegito is born from the Potara, then fusion gives birth to Gogeta. Well, they're both fusion, but yeah, regular fusion. Two equally matched ultimate trump cards. So, I mean, it tells you right there, Vegito and Gogeta are equal in power. That's it. Debate's over. It's an official statement from Shonen Jump. There's no point in arguing it. What's more, in this movie, Gogeta transforms into Super Saiyan and even Super Saiyan Blue. Go to the theater to experience this stupendous power for yourselves. By the way, Gogeta doesn't appear in the original Dragon Ball manga. Like Broly, he's a movie-only character. So Toriyama Sensei is rewriting as an attempt at adding Broly and Gogeta to continuity. So, yeah, that's true. I mean, he's not in the original manga, but he's theoretically there. Plus, for all intents and purposes, if they, Toriyama intended Goku and Vegeta to fuse as Gogeta, but what wound up happening is, because movie 12 was being produced at the same time, and I'll get into this in another video, in very, very explicit detail, Toriyama had already used the Metamorph fusion for the movie. He was working on the movie with Toei. He didn't write the movie, but he helped with it, and he knew that Goku and Vegeta would fuse. So when he was writing the manga, he said, well, we have to come up with a different fusion. We got to come up with a different version of fusion to do the fusion but make it different. And then he came up with Vegito. So it's interesting that Toriyama wrote Vegito, but in the quote canon that people are referring to, Gogeta came after, even though technically Toriyama planned to have Goku and Vegeta fuse. It's just that we saw Gogeta appear in Fusion Reborn first. And I'm talking about when it came out in Japan, not here. When it came out in Japan, that movie came out before Vegito appeared in the anime. And of course, in the manga, Vegito became the alternate fusion. Potara fusion became the other way to fuse. So that's interesting to me. I've always found that to be interesting, because I feel like if they had never done Fusion Reborn, then it would have been Gogeta versus Buu. You know what I mean? If there's an alternate reality where Fusion Reborn was never a movie and they never did the fusion, it would be Gogeta. So either way, it doesn't matter if you use Gogeta or Vegito. Either way, they're very powerful. I just like Gogeta's clothes. I'm a big fan of the Metamore infusion, the vest with the sash and the baggy pants. I think it's a cool look, and now we have, you know, Gogeta resembling Gotenks more with the yellow and the black vest. So I think it'll be great. I can't wait to see the movie. Again, even though a lot of stuff has come out visually, it's going to be amazing, and there's a lot of stuff that has not come out about the movie. So go see the movie if you can. I'll be seeing it next week, and I will come back with a spoiler and non-spoiler review. We're going to have 2 reviews, 1 non-spoiler, 1 spoiler, after I have seen the film, give you my thoughts on it, and then we go from there. So, and I'll have streams and group reviews and stuff coming up too. Anyways, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.